Now, if we could have Mr. Allen, our next speaker, please go and say a few words.
Thank you. My name is Andrew Strickland. I'm one of the medical officers. I work on the ambulance here. I've worked here for 5 years, and in total I've got about 10 years of service. And for the record, in '83 I was born, so Chief Cotton's been around for a long time. So that puts me, I was a senior in high school in 2001. And I went to school just like every other day. And like many of you probably do, I gathered in the Commons area before the first bell rang to chat with some friends and catch up on, whatever rumors had circulated the night before. And I made it to my first class with Coach Cruz, and I went to Brookwood High School in Gwinnett County. And we made it all the way through the end of that class. And just at the end of that class, there were some rumors that had been going around that somebody had flown a plane into one of the trade centers. And we actually joked about it in between classes, and we talked about how stupid could you be to fly a plane into the World Trade Centers. And we were completely naive. We had no idea that there would be people who would try to hurt us like that. And we laughed all the way to the second block, and that was Miss Hicks' class. And all the pinching and pushing stopped at the door as we looked at the TV screen. She had the news on there, and you could see the smoke against the sky. And we took our seats there, and it wasn't long after that the second plane hit. And I remember Mrs. Hicks' hands were trembling, and she was crying. And we didn't know how to feel. We didn't understand the gravity of what we were looking at, but everyone was quiet. And it didn't take very long for us to realize that me and my friends in our class, we were witnessing the indiscriminate murder of 3,000 people. And we watched them fall. We watched all that. And as the day wore on, we just watched the news from class to class to class. So went home that night. The next day, we say that me and one of my friends, we decided we weren't going to school. So we tied a big American flag around the back of my truck, and we drove around, skipped school. And I guess like many others, felt the need to reclaim our country. We felt vulnerable. We began to think about the men who came before us and the sacrifices that they made for us. My grandfather was in World War II and in Korea, had an uncle in Vietnam, another in the first Gulf War. And it was all these men's sacrifices that I was starting to figure out everything that they had done was in jeopardy. And it was going to be up to me, it was going to be up to us to make sure that their sacrifices were justified. That it was for something and not nothing. And I wanted to be a part of this. I wanted to be a part of this fight. And I wanted to be a warrior. And that's why I went to EMT school. That's why I went to paramedic school. And that's why I try to do the best that I can do to contribute to the cause. You see, we have people who fight for us here. We have people who fight for us over there. And we got to have both of them. Now, it's an election year. And there's going to be all kinds of stuff that people throw out over the next couple of months. And it's all divisive. It's all to pit us against each other. But I want you to remember something when all these ads start flying around and people decide they want this or that. that politicians didn't save us on 9/11, and they never will. It was the American spirit that rejuvenated this nation. It was neighbors helping neighbors. The people I work with will be here as long as our bones can take the job. But y'all are going to have to do y'all's part as well. And as I get older, we're going to have to pass the torch on to somebody. And I hope that all of you understand that you're going to be responsible for carrying on where I left off, where Chief left off, and justifying the sacrifices and the lives of the men and women who came before you. It was an honor to be here today. Thank all of you for your time.